son. It looks like the westbound lanes are open at least until
we'll watch this pursuit for a little bit.
It looks
see
like
what
there's
happens.
not too much
I think I need to
traffic
change.
up ahead, so that might be a good thing. Now
I think I need to
zoom in
change
here
my
and see if we can get a
category.
look at that passenger, and it looks like she's upright. I don't know. You guys can probably see a little bit better with your monitors.
Let me quiz that. Okay, let me put it back to this. All right, so we're just on the NBC LA website. We're going to check on a pursuit.
It doesn't appear that she's moving. Sue, Gil, is that an extraordinary
Let me know how that
request
audio
that
is
the
for that.
CHP has asked for your assistance here to
HD.
check on the condition
Yes.
of the female passenger?
It is. You know, they're really concerned about
screen.
her, what her status is, what her situation is for sure. She has
There we go.
She has both hands on her lap. It looks like her head was
Yeah,
upright.
yeah, definitely a cord. Yep, that's what I thought it was. It's like a 2004, 2005.
You could see that. She has not moved.
All right, let me change.
Since we've been tight on this shot.
Let me change this to just chatting. I think.
With her arm
What?
outside
Tell me
of
if the
window,
audio from the
with
live
her,
stream's too loud.
Gripping the outside of the
And I can
door.
adjust it.
And at one point, Ileana Moreno actually said that she saw.
So
her
they think she's trying to get out
of the car from News Chopper 4 Alpha, but that was well before where we are right now in a pursuit that's hitting 2 hours. Can't see what's exactly in her hand, Colleen. If it's a
almost looks like she has her hand on her leg.
Looks like the
yeah.
It looks like she
it
may
looks
be
like a
holding
cell phone.
Right. It looks like she may be holding
Perfect.
a cell
All right.
phone, but
yeah, in her right hand.
you know,
Change the category.
As we watch, Gil, and as we watch this for the CHP,
They said, basically, they said if they're armed, they will not do a pit.
From her cell phone that was sitting in her lap.
I have not seen
Can this be HD? How does this player work?
What I'm seeing is a cell phone in her right hand, her left hand on her upper thigh. I don't know if you can make that out or not, but that's what it appears.
Is that
to
even
me.
changing the quality?
It looks like she's sitting upright. She's not hunched over, I should say. So it's unknown though if she's conscious or not.
And he looks like he's got a shirt on again.
Yes, it does.
So
I'm going to come out of this shot for you, so you get a better perspective.
Gil,
of
Like,
the
what, honestly, what would you?
are,
How do I work this thing? What would
yeah,
you
let me
do
take
if
a
you're
look
in that
up here. It looks
situation?
like
You're in the
we're,
front
past
seat of the car,
710. Yes, we're definitely past the
and you want to get out.
westbound 105.
Is he in a
Like, what do you
carpool
do?
Or is that the shoulder? Oh, now
Well,
he's
now he's
getting
going to
off.
jump in the shoulder. So he's hitting that traffic there you were
This is
talking
the
about.
slowdown,
We do have
yeah.
traffic here. Yeah.
Is it
Right shoulder.
It's not a female driver, is
so
it?
this is the SIG alert as we approach the 105-710.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The driver's
this
male.
is the one area that may actually really slow him down at this point. And if not,
What's the link to
from
the
what
go?
our
Type in
assignment desk is telling us
NBC
that
LA.
from
They got a
upstairs,
little
it's
red banner at the
pretty-
top
it's pretty
saying they're
clean
live.
The rest of the way. So
Is this the exit off the 105 here? What is it?
He's on that in that slow lane right now. So
I thought LA
he has
traffic
the
is it not
ability
as
to
bad
exit,
at 7 o'clock?
But he's not. So far, he's
I
just
mean,
staying in that lane and just trying to weigh the traffic
Seeing
situation.
some cars.
The traffic is actually
Sure if they zoomed out.
loosen up here, as you were saying, just in about a quarter mile. So he may just
Yeah.
stay on it. But here's the.
I think she's
interesting
trying
thing.
to-
If he does exit here, and if he goes.
I think they're trying to see if she's trying to get out of the car.
Put him back into that Southgate area.
now that we're slowing down a little bit here, is it possible to zoom in and let's see if we can help out?
Yeah, let's zoom in. Let's get
and let
a.
our viewers know if we've seen
go.
any movement.
She wearing something. She's got a visor down.
Yes,
She doesn't want her identity
left arm is
revealed.
definitely moving. So it was on her right thigh. It was on her left thigh.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a
Colleen,
phone.
Gil, as you pointed out, she's definitely now that cell phone is moving, and she
She's
appears
texting.
to have engaged her cell phone.
911.
So
Get
the
me outta
reason
here.
why to our viewers this is important, and apparently the reason why the CDC
What is he
has
doing?
asked, is that at one
He's got
point
a-
there
he's
was scanner
waving.
reports, as you see him.
He's talking on the phone as well.
Oh no, he's
no,
on the
he
phone.
looks like he's on the phone.
Yeah.
What's on his
He
left?
is.
Okay.
He's
I'm
on the
sorry
phone.
To bring you up to speed.
Pull
There
him
were
over. He's on the
reports- yeah,
phone.
she's definitely moving. There
Fleeing
were reports
police.
She was unconscious at one point from the body blows he was reportedly inflicting on her, striking her at least once. that we know of, and that is why this is a domestic violence
What
suspect.
point,
that you're
if
looking
you,
at driving
so if you are
the
trying to get out of the car, like what
But,
point do you try to jump out?
Thank you, Gil Levis, for that shot, and we
When it
hope that
slows
helps out
down?
the CHP.
And obviously he's run into something because the front of his car is damaged.
Or is he?
Exiting the 105 here, Long Beach Boulevard exit, and that'll put him, if he goes right turn, it'll put him back into the Southgate area. He'll definitely be able to.
It's not worth it, buddy.
As we've
Don't
said,
do
they
it.
know who's behind the wheel here. This was a failure to yield. Someone flagged down an officer in Southgate,
getting off the
said they had
freeway.
witnessed some sort of domestic violence. The Southgate police
Good
officer
camera
who
work
was
there.
behind him for quite a while.
Splitting the
said he
lanes.
witnessed the same thing. At least two.
Oh, look, they're already there.
Pulled right into a squad car.
Looks like he's speeding up.
Is that the
Watch this.
CHP?
It is the CHP, and you know what? He's hungry to
Here
do
we
a
go.
pit maneuver right now. We'll see if he does it. It will.
Here it goes. This is about to end.
If he tries to make a right turn or a left turn, that unit there might.
This is about to
might see
end.
That pit maneuver come soon.
And Gil, really quickly, where are we in Linwood?
This is northbound Long Beach Boulevard from
hungry,
the 105
yeah.
freeway. So now he's going to
He's hungry for that pit.
3-lane Long Beach Boulevard here, and let's see what he does.
He didn't eat lunch
Turns,
today.
it
He's
looks like
hungry.
going into that pocket. No, he's going to turn into a drive-through.
Oh, going to McDonald's.
And,
It's
so
done.
He'll come out
he
likely
could-
out of that driveway there
Okay.
at the left.
Guess he has a
and
way
there
out.
He goes. I'll try to get you that street here in just a second, but now
Where are
he's
you
gonna go
going,
back
buddy?
Towards Long Beach Boulevard, and now he's going to go on the wrong side of the road and
Oh my gosh.
back onto northbound Long Beach.
Do the police?
This is
have
gonna
any
be
idea
sad
the
if
scammer that
somebody
you're
innocent
listening
is just
to,
driving
who he
along
may
and
be
gets
talking to on
hurt.
his cell phone?
That's a good question. They may not even know he's on a cell phone right now. That was the first time I've seen him on the cell phone.
So
I don't know if,
they're saying they
Eliana
wouldn't
or if
pit somebody
you guys
who's
witnessed
armed.
him
So
on the cell
I
phone
don't know
earlier,
if they
but
thought he
I
was
think, to my
armed or
knowledge,
if they're
that's
changing
the first
their
time we've seen him on a cell phone.
their
Gil,
rules
help us
now.
out here. He's
I
on
don't know.
Long Beach Boulevard, headed which direction?
Let me try to get that for you. He is northbound Long Beach Boulevard. I'll try to get you the next cross street.
Oh, that's a
for
nice
you,
72
but,
degrees there. That's
certainly
pretty
the
good
traffic
weather.
is medium to light, and there is, you see people walking around, so that could be a dangerous situation if he decides to start driving erratic. You see the officers.
Man,
there
police are
blocking
everywhere
lanes,
already.
So blocking intersections, I should say, and he's continuing now northbound. The California Highway Patrol at this point might pull off and hand it back over to Southgate PD. I'm listening to Southgate PD's frequency. I'm not hearing a whole lot of activity, but the California Highway Patrol still has it up on their frequency. But since he's on surface streets now, they may pull off and give it
I'm
back to
sure.
the
I'm sure
PD.
Highway
And
Patrol's
they've not
got
gone
air
into
units.
tracking mode on this at all?
No, they have not. I've not seen them in tracking mode at all. If anything, they've
How are
given
these
them a little bit of
supposed to
breathing room,
end?
backed off, maybe like they have now. Let's see.
The ones
Well,
I've
that
seen,
telephone
they
is still running.
typically
They're still
either the
pretty tight
driver
on it.
crashes
They are.
Or-
We continue to watch this
or gets trapped
Linwood
somewhere,
right now, Gil.
and they just
the
kind of
street
give
that we're
up. They
looking
just
to
come
and
out of the
what
car with their
intersections
hands
you're
up
heading
and they get
towards.
arrested.
Long Beach Boulevard. I'm trying to get the cross street here for you, and it's gonna. They're talking about doing a pit right now. I couldn't catch the name of that street, but let's see if they're going to try to do that. I hear them talking about it.
They think
looks
he
like
is
they
armed.
really want to do that. It
It's
is.
the perfect
it really
space
is.
there.
It is. So I'll widen out here so you can get an idea of what the officers are looking at. They're
Like,
looking at the parked
compared to
cars, they're looking at foot
LSPDFR,
traffic, they're looking at
cops are
oncoming
much more
traffic,
cautious
and
in
they're trying
real
to find
life.
that perfect spot where they can do the pit maneuver at the right speed and in a safe way so that no one else gets injured.
And typically, they'll have a number of cars behind.
Ethan,
There'll be
what
someone
is
who
that
makes
book?
that judgment
Drive
call,
True Trails.
and then the lead car will move up and pit.
Written a book about a New
Yeah,
York
that's
City
correct,
cop.
Colin, and we're waiting for that. We'll see if that happens. You see there's a lot of vehicles on the southbound side of Long Beach Boulevard.
Was
So
it
this would
about
not
his
be
time as
ideal.
a police officer?
Some parked cars there, but then when it opens up, that might be a better location when it, in between blocks.
Yeah, that's almost like a traveling mobile command post that really.
All right, let's put in our bets. Who thinks this is going to end in a pit maneuver? Who thinks the driver's going to crash?
The drivers,
Who thinks the driver will just
pedestrians,
stop
they
and
also
give
take
up?
Into account
Push
the
your bets.
officer's safety.
Gil, are we in,
Absolutely. Yeah.
what city are we in right now? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, let me check for you real quick.
Or is he
here,
gonna
but,
run out of
Oh,
gas?
look at this. He's coming up into some
Yeah,
cross
that was the
traffic.
other
He's going
option I was
alongside of
thinking
the
of.
road.
Thoroughfare.
And I think this is
Ambulance
Firestone.
runs someone
He's
over
coming
while
into
trying to get to, does it
right
stop
through that
and help?
intersection, made
I
it
would
through.
hope
The
so.
officers,
They hit
laying
somebody.
back to make sure they're safe. He's going to get a little distance on them.
Cop from the 80s. Oh yeah, I
They're
bet he's
calling
got
it
some
about
crazy
40 miles
stories.
an hour right
Ends in a
And,
1050.
the vehicle's
Okay.
still traveling here on Long Beach Boulevard.
Or does a civilian stop him?
He's now in Southgate.
He's now in Southgate.
Right back where
Yes.
he started. And, you know, it sounded familiar. He's been on Firestone and crossed over Firestone.
This must be an
many
area he
times
knows.
This afternoon.
That's correct. Wrong side of the road in that
Oh
turn
my
pocket
gosh,
for the
it makes me
southbound
so
lanes.
nervous seeing
But,
somebody drive on the
fortunately,
wrong side of the
traffic
road.
Here is not moving too fast, not
Pit?
too
Okay.
quickly. And then the officers, of course, trying to block as many cross streets as they can. That one was free, but it looked like he may have had a green light there. And traveling about now, I'd say 35 miles an hour.
Yeah,
What
he's
does it look
not.
like
He's not
ahead?
like going super
it's gonna be
fast
Yeah,
either.
let me pull way wide here so you can see the curve in
Yeah,
Long
there
Beach
you
is
go.
gonna
Pull
straighten
wide out
here
for me.
at that intersection. But look at that traffic ahead. He has virtually no traffic. This might be a good point for that pit maneuver.
Gil, the CHP asked you for the condition of the female passenger, the woman that is the alleged victim of this domestic violence.
All right, Ethan, we need a
that
plate
took place
check.
inside of the car. We clearly saw her moving.
Dispatch, we need a
inside
plate
of the
check.
car. Does that change the CHP's plan of action here at all?
Yeah, I think
Actually, this is
if
probably
she
a
was
lot more
unconscious,
peaceful
slumped
than a
over,
pursuit
or
in
down, on the
Aspiring.
floorboard, I think it would be definitely an urgent thing to
Put
like,
priority
get this
on the
stopped and
chill.
over with, to get her condition, you know, check on her condition. But
It's
but since she's
it's fire
upright,
kit and
since she's
driving.
conscious and moving around a little bit, they may want to wait on that. Although now I'm hearing that they do have that permission to pit at any time here, so we should be seeing that very soon. when the condition's
Earlier
just
this
right.
evening, what
Has he,
happened?
up on
crossed over,
Florence.
has he crossed over Independence yet or Liberty?
I like the picture-in-picture
Let's see here.
view here.
I think he just
What, do you
crossed
run over a
Liberty now.
fence or something? Oh wait, the door opened.
Here he
And
goes
again-
wrong. Left turn, Mike. He's going to
This
come
is-
westbound here on a side street.
Yeah, this is where it all started in Southgate, just around 5
I think he's
o'clock
gonna
or
give
shortly
up
after 5
at
o'clock
some
this
point here.
afternoon. And
He's gonna come to his
with a failure
senses.
to yield, and he is in a residential area.
Yes, and you see
I think he's
the
gonna
street
give
that
up.
says bump, so he's got some speed bumps here that's going to limit
I think
his
he's gonna
speed.
stop
That's
the car
good.
himself
But,
and
certainly
give
westbound
up.
now on a side
Either
street,
give up or
and
run,
we're
but
gonna
I
try
think
to
he's
get
gonna
that
give
for
up.
you in a
I think he's
second here,
gonna.
but CHP staying in this
I think
pursuit.
the reality is gonna
And,
set. Oh, somebody
Did her door just
Yes.
open?
get out of the
Yes,
car, lady.
passenger door just opened and closed again. So Santa Fe, southbound on Santa
Dude, you need to
Fe.
roll out that
We did it on
car.
the street before early on when Eliana Moreno was covering it. So
Like, you
we'll
could probably
see if
roll out.
that
It would
woman's
hurt,
trying to
even
get
if it was
out.
going
She
like
popped
10
that
miles
door
an
for a
hour.
second.
But you probably could
She may
roll
have seen an
out.
opportunity there, and I'm listening.
Roll out the
to
car, lady.
He's really
CHP
slowing
say-
down.
Yeah, he's.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really slowing
What did
down.
I
You have to
say?
wonder if
There's
he's
a
out
door.
of gas.
He's gonna-
Doors open again.
And
Go, get out of the car.
He might be running out of gas. This might be it.
Yeah, he
Passenger, here it
stopped.
is. Doors
gotta
open.
stop.
He's nope.
Oh,
A little cat and mouse with the driver. It's unfortunate. She was unable to jump out. I think he saw that she was able to, roll out of there, and he hit the gas again.
Roll
So,
out of the car.
but
he's not going
Do
very
it.
fast though, Gil. So you do have to wonder if gas is now an issue here, if there's some type of engine problem.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And
The
I'm
car's
also
been
hearing
going
that the,
slower and
CHP
slower.
saying, and confirming what you had just said, that they're back in
One of his
that,
tires
area
looks
where this initially started.
Flat.
yeah, I can tell you the officers managed to run the.
Maybe that's
place
just
here,
from
and we
the,
have two. We
Runners
know
or
that
helicopter
there are
perspective.
officers waiting for him when he stops. I want to ask you if you see any parked black and whites. Let us know.
Okay, I'm going to come out wide here to show you that. And
What's up,
It
JP?
looks like so far no. It looks like CHP's still there.
What are
in
we
the
doing?
Back, behind the vehicle, and if I come out,
They
wide,
said
you'll
over
see
2
after that,
hours.
It doesn't look like, at least in the next 2 streets, there's no.
She has a
speed or no
perched in.
police on the,
Yeah, I mean they have like
on the side
BMWs
street
come
there
with
on the
those
side
run
road.
flat tires.
Producers telling us, Gil, that there was definitely a struggle inside of that car. That
The
they
Hurricane.
had
I don't
witnessed
really
as
watch
well.
too much hockey,
And
honestly. I guess
Yeah,
it's
we're
not really
efforting
big
now
here
to
in
get
South
over to the,
Carolina,
passenger side
how it
so we
is
can,
in other
keep an eye on
states.
that. Here we're going to look through the front windshield. Looks like she has her feet back up on the dashboard. She's making a left turn
Why is she
eastbound. So
have-
now we do have
Oh,
eyes
she's
on
chilling.
her side, but then again, we got a tinted windows that we can't
Feet
see.
on the dash. That
And
you
what's
just
the main
relaxing,
street?
going on a
He
joyride.
just turned. He turned from Santa
off
Fe onto something, right?
off of Santa Fe. Yeah.
You put your feet on the dash when you're like on a long trip and your legs hurt.
Yeah, trying to work on that street.
Unless she's being forced in there, which is not a laughing matter. I feel bad for her. Obviously, she probably doesn't want to be in there.
Here's my feet. You can see my feet. So after she opened that door, if there was a struggle there.
Carolina has a team.
Basically telling this guy with her body language. Hey,
North Carolina might have a team.
And even though the car looks like it's stopped or it's not moving very quickly for us, that is a leap.
There is no. I'm pretty sure there's no professional Major League Hockey team that plays in South Carolina. There's probably some minor league. Oh, we lost the feed.
Back on, I believe this is Long Beach Boulevard again.
What just happened?
With her hand out the window down.
This is pre-recorded.
Dashboard.
And as we watch this pursuit live, we're
now.
Yeah,
they're out of North Carolina. It's kind of like Carolina Panthers for NFL.
Failure to yield. We now know it's become a domestic violence situation because the woman inside was reportedly witnessed by an officer being struck by the driver. We started in Southgate. We're heading back towards
I've been to
Southgate.
hockey games before. We used to have.
Her legs are clearly up.
So I'm pretty sure there's like maybe 2 minor league teams.
Protecting
if that's what it's called.
In because we
South
know
Carolina.
Little information, she can insist that she's staying with him.
Something is going on. You can see the struggle inside the car.
Ooh.
Oh, there it is. There's a struggle.
Get.
They're fighting now.
Dang. Get out of there.
Dangerous not only for the people in
Holy
the car,
but she's in the fight of her life there. You can see her struggling,
witness.
trying to get control of that vehicle. Her legs kicking. She's saying enough's enough. Yeah, look at her fight.
Oh my God.
Her leg is now up on the dashboard.
I feel like her life's in danger now. Hopefully, he doesn't have a weapon
we're
or
hoping
something.
that she's going to be okay.
Yeah, we just
really
pray that there's not an
driver.
accident right now because she is in a very vulnerable position. Clearly not without a seatbelt on.
Yes, sorry, Robert. I had a radio in my ear, but look at her fighting there. He's punching her. She's fighting back. He's going around cars. Yeah, it's a mess, but certainly. I don't know if the units behind know that this is happening. My pilot is talking to the airship overhead and letting them know. Okay, so I'm hearing them from my pilot, Mike Rodriguez, that the airship is well aware that the struggle is going on once again. So
how would you handle this? In LSPDFR, we call backup, and then the AI would just slam into the car.
I mean, they could let this play out till he runs out of gas, but again, that takes it up a notch. When you see this happening, because it not only endangers people in the car, we're talking about other drivers there if he loses control.
That's right. I mean, the struggle could put them into an oncoming vehicle, which would be dangerous for anybody. On
might have like a weapon pointed at her or something, like telling her.
That's an issue. Now they've stopped. They've calmed down. But again, the police are aware that struggle is going on. It's a continuing struggle. And we'll see what happens if they decide to try to. But again, their hands are tied. They have to have the right conditions to do this pit maneuver.
Yeah, if it was ARP,
if they're gonna do that at all.
Get run over by
our chopper.
Own backup, probably.
The units have backed off a little bit. We'll see.
They've been in tracking mode, I guess is what you would call it. They've been keeping their distance.
You know what? The other thing you can't help but notice is her body. She is jammed so close to that door on the passenger's side. Gil, as we look at this intersection here, I'm trying to read the street names as you go by. What street are they on?
They're on Long Beach Boulevard. They just crossed California.
California. So which direction are they headed? North, south?
Northbound. There's a pedestrian right there. Went around the pedestrian.
Pedestrian even painted.
Northbound.
So we're northbound Pacific, did you say?
Slauson. Just cross Slauson.
Just cross Slauson. So there was some type of struggle. Was she trying to get the keys? Was she trying to do whatever? We just don't know. And
I'm shocked it's been going on this long.
For some reason, when this car slows down, there was a chance for the door to open, and she wasn't able to get out. She didn't want to get out. She wasn't allowed to get out.
Like, what's the difference between tracking mode and like keeping your distance like that?
All along, we don't know what else this man has in the car with him, meaning does he have a weapon?
I don't know, the window's up now.
In the car, besides, using the car as a deadly weapon, does he have an actual weapon, a gun, or perhaps anything else that he could be threatening her with.
And look at that space between the driver and the passenger there. That's what I'm saying. She is really crouched up against the door. We know, well, we've seen it here, but we know at least one police officer, at least one witness saw something that
somebody thinks there's a
triggered them
weapon in
to
there.
Notify the police that there was some sort of domestic issue going on in the
Probably
car. And the
Marcus.
officer who's directly behind them, are they
Here's
coming
the
up
pit,
to
maybe.
pit? This looks like
Yeah,
it.
it looks like it. It looks like it. They're talking about the pit. They're talking also about possibly setting up a spike strip. Now they're entering, very close to entering the city of Vernon. So northbound Long Beach Boulevard approaching Vernon. And that CHP unit there saying,
he's
okay, here we
closing
go. We
in.
might try
There
that
you go.
maneuver here. A lot of lanes on this road here that are available for them to do that pit and do it safely, but the speed might be an issue right now.
What is the speed?
I'm gonna have to guess
50?
say about 40, 45 miles an hour maybe, crossing the tracks. And again, he's got a signal up ahead, and we'll see if he tries to turn. We'll see that pit
Yeah, they like it when the
turning.
when it's a bit slower,
Eastbound.
but they can and sometimes do pit at 40 to 45 miles an hour.
Well, they're saying they won't
Gil,
pit
would
if
you and
he has a
Colleen,
weapon and if
because
he's armed.
you've actually done this before.
I've been in a situation,
But I
with
feel
the
like,
LAPD where I've been in a car that's been pitted.
each scenario
and,
is
Walk us through
gonna
exactly what could happen.
The minute
Or
I
what
see,
cause some review.
Well, the minute I see a black and white come up, they race up, they get very close, and it's just a gentle tap on the bumper. And what it does is it sends
loving
the car
tap.
into a spin. And
The thing,
usually
like, these
that slows the
newscasters, they just
driver
have to
down.
keep talking.
It's kind of shocking. It will make you stop. I'm
right.
looking, 'cause he's coming up really fast.
Oh my gosh.
Pacific.
But
Yeah.
you need
I'm kind of
specific-
legit
Northbound
nervous.
specific
I feel bad
conditions.
for
Well,
the
you need-
This is gonna
girl,
be it.
the
Yeah.
This is gonna be
passenger.
it. I hear them talking. They're really itching to do this
And he
as
looks
soon
like
as they
he's going
can.
to take him on the passenger side of the bumper right now. He'll pull up, he'll be right alongside, and he'll tap him. But see, he's trying to figure out which side. There he goes,
Yep.
back and forth.
Back
It's
and
almost
forth.
like watching a race car. And there is a rule of thumb. I mean, this car is the perfect size because it's so much smaller.
Yeah,
than the
it
black and
really
white.
is. Like, this
It's
is
what
not
they
a
call the
video.
lug
Like,
nut rule.
these
If the
are
car you
people's
allow to pit
lives.
has more lug nuts. Typically, they don't.
Now, does the pit procedure change when there is a passenger in the car? One passenger that we know of.
I'm going to
That's a
say
good question.
Probably
not
yes.
necessarily. I was a passenger in the car that was pitted, and what it did.
Where
it
was
didn't
she?
Make a difference to them.
Why was
It's
she in
just so smooth
the
and
news
so
anchor?
quick.
I was in a car that was
It's
pitted.
almost like an art form, and they do send
Yes,
officers out.
it's a pursuit.
for this all the
Well,
time. Both the LAPD,
Officer Gomez was talking
CHP,
about a
and
pursuit
all
in LA,
local
so we were playing Need for
police
Speed,
agencies
and
around here.
we finished up,
we
and I
go.
said I would check out this.
Boy, that
So
was
yeah,
close.
it's
In the
live. Like
intersection
you can see,
Yep,
it's
that's right.
7:36
He's going
p.m.
westbound now on the
California
side street. He's
time,
gonna do it
Pacific
right
time.
Here it is.
That's it. Tap, tap.
Oh, he almost.
Just missed him.
It looked like the officer
Oh,
caught his tire on
oh,
the curb, but here it is again. Let's see.
Surely
at
that
the 10
Explorer
freeway.
is
It looks like
faster
this
than
might be
that
the 10
Honda
freeway
Accord.
on-ramp. So he's made his way all the way up to the downtown LA area, eastbound 10 freeway.
And the problem here is that you're on an on-ramp and
Yeah.
the car could go over the side.
No pit on
That's
a freeway.
true.
Not on something like this.
Well, how fast can you? What is your limit in terms of an effective pit in terms of speed?
Well, you know, they don't really talk about what
oh.
the speed limit is. They don't necessarily discuss that, but they
Yeah,
talk about
dispatch
the
called
optimum.
pursuit
And,
backup.
You know, they like it
real.
to be 30, 35 miles an hour. They'll go up to 40, 45, but they won't ever give you a maximum number as to how fast you can be going
No,
before they
no.
pit. They don't want to give all the secrets to us.
All right, so here we are, Gil.
They don't make
We are on, you
those.
said the 10 freeway heading towards downtown. What exit are we
What?
close to?
These
What
anchors.
series?
Actually, Robert, East LA interchange, eastbound 10. So he's got the 5 freeway, the 60 freeway. He could do the northbound 5. We'll see what he does. He's right in, coming into the interchange now. It looks like he's going to stay committed to either the 5 or the 60. It looks like the 5, I believe that is. We'll see here in a second, but you know,
You
the
think we got to
CHP
have traffic
had their-
waiting for him?
Yeah, looking ahead on the southbound 5, it looks.
Yeah, I
about
don't
medium
think I've
traffic
seen
there.
any
60
Chargers.
Freeway is a little bit lighter than that, And we'll see.
I've just seen the FPIU and the Crown Vic so far, but I'm just catching the tail end of this.
He's been going since at least just after 5 o'clock, so we're probably coming up on what, close to 3 hours at this point.
Snipe the driver? I don't know if there's any situation they would try to do that. Especially with the passenger right there.
It looks that way.
Who is
and he really has been hard driving.
Presumably innocent.
He's been speeding. He's been weaving in and out. He's not backed off the accelerator, except that one time that we just saw him on Long Beach Boulevard, where the passenger tried to jump out, and then the other time, shortly after we picked up this chase, when he was on the cul-de-sac.
That's what SCPD would say for sure.
Honda Accord with a full
Maybe this is it. SCPD said he was in LA. Maybe this is him.
Wow.
Let's hope he did not.
He got his hands on a Honda Accord somehow. I don't know how.
Taking account just regular traffic. Driver's side window open again.
And his shirt's off again.
Yes.
Gil, and he's shirtless again.
What is with the shirt?
So shirt on, shirt off. And talking, I see the female hand out the window. He's going all the way across lanes to the slow lane here. I'll come back to a wide shot. He's got some options here to exit. There is one exit there. We're going to swerve around.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He almost hit that big rig. And now he's got that heavy traffic right as they're approaching the 710. He's all over the road.
This makes me nervous, dude. When the traffic's heavy and they're driving like this.
Driving return here as he gets in this traffic.
It's definitely SCPD type driving.
Los Angeles started just after 5 o'clock this afternoon on the West Coast. It is now 7:40.
It's almost 3 hours.
Failure
Holy
to
moly.
yield call that prompted the pursuit, and then they added the charge
Yeah.
of domestic violence.
The reporters, they just have to keep, the anchors just got to keep talking. So you got to fill the voice. That's why they're just.
He's picking up speeds again. Gil, where are we?
Eastbound Olympic, and I believe that exit was Lorena, if I'm not mistaken. So eastbound Olympic off the 5 freeway. He's now south of the 5 freeway.
Gomez, we need you there. We need you on the scene as a stringer.
Intersection, and he's gonna. Looks like he's gonna take the wrong side of the road. Maybe he uses that turn pocket. His window's down. We did see the female waiver hand out the window there momentarily, and it looks like he might be either on the
She is serious as a suspect takes.
Yeah. Gil, as you've covered a number of these, what happens in terms of charges
apparently he's taking it on and off several times. So I don't know what
just ticking them off
what's going on there
as these infractions happen, or do they go back and review video?
All those infractions are going to count. They are keeping track as good as they can. There's been so many on this.
Who gets a job of reviewing this video and tallying up all the traffic infractions?
Adding that up, but here we go. We might have a pit maneuver right now. Nope, not the right time under the freeway. Oh, hopefully.
It really is hard. Like if you're going to time it correctly, it's not as easy as you would. As a video game.
Right now?
Still on Olympic. He just crossed over the 7. Yeah, just crossed under the 710 freeway on Olympic. And I'm trying to listen to see what the strategy is for the California Highway Patrol on this guy. Oh, look at that! Right through that intersection, just missed that car coming through. I don't know if you saw it there real quick. The CHP backing off a little bit through that intersection so that they're safe, and now they'll pick up the pace and get back up on that driver. But right now, he's kind of cruising easily.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's a lot. Like there's so many factors. You have factor traffic, speed, the demeanor of the driver. If you think they're gonna do something crazy,
what they are thinking at this point, because
it really is. It's not just like yes, no. There are just so many factors.
No, there's no way.
Oh, SCPD, you in the car? Are you driving?
And of course, remember the Southgate PD is going to be
pull over.
Secondary right now in the chase.
He's typing on Twitch while he's driving the car.
Or handed over.
SCPD, we thought this was you driving.
Finishes this off.
And Gil, one variable we haven't thrown in the mix during this pursuit.
No, we play it. We did Need for Speed for like an hour, 45 minutes.
Back and forth. We've seen him erratic in terms of the gesticulation with his hands. We wonder if he's perhaps driving under the influence on top of everything
SCPD,
else.
If you're driving the car, I want you to make a right-hand turn.
It's probably likely that he is. Although, it looks like he's putting something to his mouth. Maybe he's smoking something. It's a little bit difficult to tell. I've seen his hand go up.
Oh yeah,
multiple
it
times.
kind of does look like he's
We
got a
just see him with
vapor or something.
with the cell phone for a moment. But here we go. Look at this. Did you see that reaction? He's well aware that they're trying to do a pit maneuver. I went in tight to see what he was doing. The CHP moved up to do the pit. He caught wind of it and he pulled into the wrong side of the road. So yeah, he's quite aware that they're trying to do that. And here it
Get
is.
him! Get him!
Here it goes.
Get him!
And look at that. He's pulling all the way to the other side of the road to get away from that, to avoid that pit maneuver. So this driver is quite aware that they're trying to do that.
Do we have a pursuit veteran calling? You never know. I mean, sometimes the incarceration periods are not long. And we should underline that if we're still in East LA, but if we're heading then towards downtown LA, again, the streets are going to start filling up with more than just cars, but with people as well.
You know, it makes me wonder too. He's been trying to take him on the other side. I wonder if he'll shift to the driver's side now and sort of spin him towards the curb and where the parked cars are.
We don't know who the driver is.
I think they might try that. But I can tell you, though, that the pursuit is going away from downtown, not towards it right now. So we're eastbound on Olympic, and we're away from the 710.
But they're saying the prison system and probably more generally in California tends to be overloaded. So
into some heavy traffic. So let's see what he does. He's got a decision to make here, wrong side of the road once again.
I still think he's going to give up.
What's this intersection?
Right there with him. Let's see here. I'm not hearing them call it out yet. I'll try to get that for you.
Really slowing down here.
They're calling go. They're calling go. So that's
oh no.
that they want to do that pit maneuver. And but look at that. That driver.
Almost can't watch.
I see you coming.
Gil, do they want to do this?
You see the helicopter spotlight or something, or it's a crappy video. I can't tell.
Does that then make things more difficult?
It'll definitely make it more difficult for the
prisons
units,
are full here, yeah.
The airship has
so people will get like.
Right now.
They're saying he might be a pursuit veteran.
Yeah. So they'll be able to
Here we go.
But here it goes. There it is. There's the tap.
Yeah.
And not quite.
Good try. Good try.
He's got their
GG.
attention. And here we go again. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he'll be more aggressive the second time.
We gotta think, if you pit something and he crashes into somebody, kills somebody, then as an officer, you have to live with that on your conscience. And of course, people are gonna call for your head.
But there are pretty standard rules for all of them.
I get the hesitation.
As I was told, they all practice. So
sure.
Definitely get the hesitation.
And again, we're looking at this one black and white unit here, but there's like a rolling command post behind. And he's the one who makes the decision. Someone with rank, someone with authority there. And, you know, as Gil said, you keep hearing the word go, go. And, boy, this looks like, although the speed here may not look optimum.
Right. You know, what's very interesting here is the chatter on the CHP frequency has gone away completely. They're ultra focused on doing that.
Well, they're talking about spike strips at some point.
The CHP
right turn.
According to the
right turn on to where?
Reporters.
Let me see if I can get that street for you. He's going right under us, so we're going to have to reposition ourselves. But he's now northbound, and he's going to be going back towards the. Let me get my bearings here.
3. Like they said what? Right after 5 o'clock.
Back towards the 5 freeway. Through that intersection, they had to pull back.
If someone gets hit, do they get their car fixed for free?
So actually, I'm sorry, he's already north of the 5 freeway.
I don't know about if the guy fleeing hits him and he doesn't have insurance.
And the CHP is going to continue to be the agency handling this right now, from what you understand. Looks like
no doubt. They're going to bring this to an end. CHP will be the one to bring this to an end.
How many units? I don't know. They pull out sometimes, and you can see at least 5 or 6 of them.
Fortunately, no one coming. And let's see what he does. If he does a left turn, he's left turn. He's going westbound now. Back
what was that flash?
The East LA area. Beverly.
It's about to get dark there.
Westbound Beverly.
Setting off some red light cameras there if you were wondering what those flashes were.
Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah.
Here we go.
I'm sure there's a bunch of units like further off screen.
They try to find that position. That's Maple.
A real cat and mouse.
This guy's an idiot.
It really
Colleen
is.
and Gil. I mean, this guy knows what the LAPD, or I'm sorry, what the CHP is trying to do. And they
doubt.
just
And
really
he's-
backed off there, Gil. What happened?
They wanted to clear that intersection and make sure that they were safe to get through that intersection for all the units following. Unfortunately, there's a lot of intersections like that where the California Highway Patrol has to slow down and make sure they're safe. They don't want to crash into anybody.
Clear your
going through there.
intersections.
Here they come very aggressively once again. Maybe they'll do it here again, but
They definitely have upped their aggressiveness in the past like 10
The
minutes.
suspect driver is speeding up anywhere from
Yeah, that's what I'm worried
35 miles
about.
an hour to
Either
50 miles an hour
something
here.
has happened to
But,
that passenger who
right
doesn't
now,
want to
it
be in the
just depends
car
on the
from what it
traffic
appears.
itself.
Or two, an innocent person's going
And
to
again,
get
the
hit.
other
There,
factor
we seen
here,
pedestrians
we
crossing the
don't know
road.
if he is armed, and that will change the dynamics
Spawn
of this
cops in,
chase
yeah.
and this pit immediately.
Oh,
if and when
if
they
only it
stop.
worked like
so
that.
much is changing now, Colleen, because now we're moving. It's getting dark.
You see how dark it is getting, and is he running with his lights out?
It's like he's got,
Maybe a parking light on one side.
It
Or
looks
they're
like he's
just
got his
really
headlights
dim.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
this is one of the longer pursuits that we have covered in recent memory.
Get him.
And-
Get him.
Gil, where are we heading right now,
Yeah,
and
what's the
where,
street?
where are we heading towards?
So we're westbound going into, we're going to be entering East LA very soon here.
I'm sorry, the street, Gil?
I believe this is, trying to get it for you, Beverly. It's still Beverly, westbound Beverly. And
Yeah, well,
trying to hear
Gomez
what they're
is,
saying.
was
There's,
saying in LA it's like a somewhat common
talking about the
occurrence for
suspect
these
doing
types of pursuits.
Okay, let's let Gil listen in
So
for
it
a
might
second,
not be as
and,
shocking
as
to
we
s-
continue to watch this pursuit,
A resident there
starting
as
just
it
after
might
5
be that you or
o'clock.
me who
There
never
is a woman
encounters
inside
something
of
like
the
I think
car,
I've
a female
encountered one
passenger.
pursuit
She
in my
is
life, and I was just on the
domestic
interstate,
violence victim of the
and
driver,
I think I was in the
Colleen,
middle
driver
lane,
who's now
and this car comes flying
had his
past
shirt
me
on,
in the
had his shirt
left
off,
lane, the
has
fast
been-
lane,
we've seen
and then
now
behind
talking
him
on
are
his
like
cell
two
phone.
cops, and they're probably
At
all
some
going
point,
like
they don't
90,
know who he's
95 miles
talking
per hour.
to.
And
Don't
that's
know
the
if
only
it's a
time
red
I've
light that he blew right
ever
past, but
encountered a
certainly could have
pursuit in my
been,
life.
and
You see,
And I was like,
another
what the heck?
CHP officer, another black and white, just joined the chase.
Get me
here.
away from that.
This is getting more and more crowded. Even though you've got this open space here, you've got these other cars on the other side of the median, and that becomes problematic for the officers who are thinking about a pit at this point.
Gil, what did you hear?
Yeah, you don't
Well,
see
I'm
too
adjusting
much
my
of this
scanner right
in
now to
South
pick up
Carolina
the
either.
CHP a little bit better, but I'm on one scanner that's coming in kind of broken, but I'm about to get that for you a little bit clearer here.
Like a
You'll
roadblock?
understand, yeah, much better. Now I'm hearing them a little bit clearer. They're coming up on Atlantic.
I
so
feel like I haven't
westbound
seen too many
Beverly.
roadblocks in real life, like on
Has
these
to be a
types of
combo.
pursuits.
Look at that cross traffic.
Traffic.
That's Atlantic. They're saying now Atlantic, northbound on Atlantic, and we'll see now. We got traffic. We got people stopping. They see the red lights behind them. They want to get out of their way. And now we're
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't really see that happen too often. It's probably
So,
very
what is
risky
the
to
closest
make a
freeway here?
roadblock.
The 60?
First, you gotta
Yes,
know where
in
he's
fact,
driving
he's gonna
to,
be
and you gotta
approaching the
set it
60
up.
shortly.
And ideally, I think you
And we'll see
officers
some
need to
cars
be
jump on that
outside the
60
car
freeway.
in case he decides to ram it.
There it is. Nope.
No.
Was that Montebello police that we saw joining this pursuit?
They were definitely assisting on shutting down lanes. Here he goes, wrong side of the road again.
Oh my
They were
gosh, I
definitely,
hate this.
Assisting on with the pursuit as it comes through their city. So now he's wrong side of the
Drop
road.
a spike
north of the
strip,
60 freeway,
like in Need
right
for
side of the
Speed
road
when
again,
the spikes drop from the helicopter.
through Riggins. So northbound through Riggins, and I'm listening to see if it sounds like East LA units from the California Highway Patrol.
Yeah, it'd be really
taking a
hard
handoff.
to pull off.
You know, it's amazing as many times as he's been on the wrong side of the road this afternoon in 3 hours that he hasn't hit anyone or run into anyone head on.
That's true, and I think it's the pace that he's driving. If he was driving a lot faster, that could definitely up that ante, but because he seems to be driving at about 40, 45 miles an hour at most, sometimes when he crosses over, he does have that chance or that opportunity to have some choices there before he encounters another car. So we've seen in other pursuits where the driver's reckless
Yeah, we
driving
saw
speeds goes on that
Canadian. I
wrong
don't
side
know
of
if
the
you
road.
saw, but
Things happen very quickly.
so the passenger
I
was
think the
opening the
speeds
door
are a factor right
and
now.
like kicking
Is
the
he still on
driver. At one
Atlantic
point, they
here?
were fighting.
Yes, northbound Atlantic. They're calling it 30 miles an hour.
And
Light
he's headed,
traffic, 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
that
Oh
means he's
yeah.
headed
He
up
definitely
towards
looks
Monterey
younger.
Park.
You're absolutely right. Young and
Yes,
reckless.
yeah, he's in Monterey Park now. And
Dude, this is so dumb.
we'll see. Maybe this might be an opportunity again here. The streets are a little bit quiet up ahead. We got the
All
second
right.
unit
You
getting
guys
in there
got it.
aggressively. We'll see if they decide to do it now, because the traffic here on Atlantic is a little bit lighter than it was near the 60 freeway.
But he's not. He seems to have really slowed his speed down, hasn't he, Gil? Right there.
He has, Robert, for sure. And I believe that's a tactical thing for the driver to do. So he's definitely wise to their tactics.
How long is this Honda Accord going to run for, too? That's the other question.
And he's right there on that cutting edge of the
At least
speed
5
where,
years. I don't know. I don't know about in California. It might be out
makes it
faster than
unsafe to
that.
do that pit maneuver. So he definitely is wise to all that.
Intersection we're heading to right now.
Right through that intersection, let's see here. Well, approaching Harding now. So he's Atlantic approaching Harding. He's got some heavy traffic up ahead. He's got a red light.
Okay.
And
Yeah, domestic violence suspect.
Monterey Park police are saying that they are not going to get involved. They're going to
they've attempted a pit a few times.
They're not going to jump into this and try to take it
They've
over
made
from the
contact
CHP.
like
So for now it's
from
CHP,
what I've seen
and,
at least
there he
twice.
goes wrong side of the road, and let's see if he goes straight or no. He's going to go westbound.
Okay.
Left turn on Garvey. So he's Garvey westbound from Atlantic. He was heading towards the 10th freeway, and now he's going to.
It looks like there are just too many factors
westbound,
to
so
try to pit.
he will have the.
They don't know if he has a
freeway
weapon
eventually
either.
Here that he might run against if he continues westbound.
Yeah, but this is a pretty busy street. Normally, you've got homes on one side, you've got businesses. You come in and out of that area on Garvey. This would be a hard area to pit.
It would be. In fact, there's a big sweeping right-hand turn coming up on Garvey. I hear them saying the word ready, so we'll see. Maybe on that curve there'll be an opportunity for the CHP. Here's the curve we're talking about,
Okay.
and they're not really moving up on him, so they are likely deciding that's not a good choice.
And is that still CHP behind him?
It is. It's still CHP. They thought maybe that Monterey Park might assist.
Yeah, I guess it's the pursuit.
Now, he's got the freeways.
We had fake pursuits earlier. Now it's real.
And if he jumps back on it, then definitely CHP is going
Yep,
to stay.
it's pretty much dark there now. I think the sun is set.
I'm sorry, that
LSPD would have to
situation,
stop 2
that's
hours
quickly approaching.
Yeah, in fact, he's got the 10 freeway coming up. As he
It's
comes
funny,
down the
but
street.
then it's not funny because this is real life and
does
there's
not go
a
into the neighborhood.
passenger in there.
He's
But
going to have the 10th freeway
true.
in about like a half mile or so.
Colleen, we're looking at the people that are watching with us.
Yeah, with my
NBCLA.com and,
K9 Bugle.
Some of the thousands of people that are joining us.
I got
people
my
are
I got my
surprised that
K9
this
here.
pursuit has lasted this long.
So are we.
When you consider that we're going into almost 3 hours.
She don't want to get up.
Gil, you look at the pursuits that we've covered.
My K9 is
This is
lazy.
gonna go down in the books as one of the
She's
longest.
laying in her bed.
It really is. We've made our helicopter swap already because Eliana ran out of gas. We still have about an hour of fuel, maybe a little less than that. And if it continues any longer, Eliana will be back in the mix to replace us when we need to go for fuel. Westbound Ramona.
Yeah, that line. 3 Paul 8. I'm in the
Ramona
coffee shop
bordering
around the corner.
10 freeway.
I'm in the donut shop.
So he's headed back in a southerly direction.
Actually, he's westbound, bordering the southbound side of the 10 freeway.
But okay, I see what you're talking about there. Ramon is
he on the wrong side of the road again? We're about to go night vision.
Parallels the 10 freeway. He'll, if he keeps going, run into the 710 freeway.
That's much better,
correct?
actually.
That's correct. Absolutely. He's got the 710 freeway coming up right now. Very shortly. There it is. And he's going underneath the 710. So he's going to be going into the City Terrace.
You see the spotlight now?
Area now.
You can see it better. Now it's dark.
Heading into an area where it's not very well lit, and you have to wonder if this is...
This would be 3 stars.
One of his intentions.
Yeah, at least 3 stars in Grand Theft Auto.
Let's talk about
At
his
least.
speed here a little bit. He looks like he's slowing down a bit.
He has, and the CHP is talking about that. It's part of their strategy. Look at that, they're closing in a little bit. Now we got Ramona coming up on campus. Now if he continues any further, we're going to get into the Boyle Heights area, and then it's LAPD's jurisdiction.
Vex, yeah, I think you're right. I think he hit her or something, because they were fighting there for a minute, like 20 minutes ago. They were fighting each other.
We'll see what happens, but I think it's the intention, the CHP.
I mean, I would be scared too if he has a weapon or something.
Classic pit maneuvers.
This brings up a question, Gil and Colleen. You know, as we look at some of our viewers, and you know, people say they're surprised there's no traffic. Some, you know, plenty are surprised. Someone said the Avengers Endgame they thought would be the longest thing they watched all week.
And that is, what, a 3-hour movie?
Another person wants to know, why are we giving
talking
out
about
CHP
the Avengers.
moves? Is that a smart thing for us to be doing? And would we please explain again exactly what a pit maneuver is going to be in this circumstance?
Well, I think in this situation, the driver is pretty aware of how the CHP operates. As you could tell, as we were zoomed in tight, you saw his activity. He was looking more in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, I don't know where exactly they are in LA.
They sit up on the rear side of the vehicle and try to spin them out of control. So
from the time we started watching, Highway Patrol has been following them.
Pursuit intervention technique. He's going to go right.
Pretty much exclusively.
So it looks like he's back. I'm trying to get you the location here.
It's hard to tell because they don't zoom out too often.
Freeway he's entering now.
Well, you know, I want to add to that.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I don't think we're actually giving out any specific maneuvers for the CHP or any of the law enforcement here. I mean, we've all watched enough chases. We know what goes down. We know what a pit maneuver is. We know they throw out spike strips.
Oh, I bet.
We're not giving the exact locations of where those spike strips might be. But, you know, I think our viewers need to know where they're headed, where these vehicles are, and perhaps you'll be educated yourself.
Yep, get off the road. If you're in LA, get off the roads.
You know what you should do. Get out of the way. If you see a car race by you, if you see lights and sirens in your rear view mirror, or
yeah, Tickle. Who knew?
I mean, you should always be aware when you're driving on the freeways here. So
gosh, if we had a pursuit like this in one of the LSPDFR videos, there'd be so many comments about how boring it was.
Again, pretty well versed in what the CHP is doing. Colleen, you
so many comments.
Another question from someone watching.
Even though this is a realistic pursuit, how they happen.
I think this guy, and you know, Gil can jump in on this. I think you just can't predict.
Give it up, dude. Give it up. Just stop.
I don't think there
Pull over.
Any missed opportunities, but you've also got a lot of traffic on the road
give
out
up.
there right now. And keep in mind, a spike strip involves an officer standing by the curb and literally, or on the median.
Oh, I saw I did see a Charger back there.
So there's an element of danger involved there as well. And the spike strips don't make your tires blow immediately. What happens is you get this slow leak. If you catch a spike strip and then, you know, eventually you get a flat tire unless you're on tires that are
nano leaf went off.
Flats.
As people continue to watch, you know, they understand that we are also alerting the public of the danger that potentially is coming into their neighborhood.
Because California has so many freeways.
As someone just told us at NBCLA.com has lasted now longer than the Dodgers game. And we have the Angels game that started in Anaheim, where this pursuit went down Catella, and that was just about a half hour before the Angels were set to take the field against the Yankees. So
yeah, that's how it is in South Carolina with
fascinated, and I would
Highway
say,
Patrol having jurisdiction.
What we're reading online is a little frustrated that this hasn't come to an end.
Well, we thought it was coming to an end several times. I mean, we've watched. He was pitted once. We've watched them come up on his bumper a couple of times, but he seems to be pretty savvy about what goes into a pit maneuver. We saw him pull into a cul-de-sac at one point. We thought it would end there, but he got out of that situation. We saw him pull into what we thought was like a construction yard. What it was is the backside of a park that may have been under construction, and he pulled through the park onto the grass and the bike path or the walkway area. This is what I'm talking about right here. That happened, I'm trying to remember, about 5:30, 5:45 this afternoon.
This was fairly
that's where we ran into the we didn't see that.
Show this to you is that because you were seeing this car leave the roads, off roads, and those are picnic benches and people in a park right there. Later, he would be on a sidewalk and there would be a bicyclist in danger. Listen, everybody's in danger at this point, including where you are right now. Gil Levis, Freeway location, please.
Those pedestrians were running.
Freeway
I would
going away
too.
From the 10 freeway.
Get me out of there.
The 60 freeway next to contend with, and then the 5. But now look at this. He's transitioning. It might be that transition road to the 60. We'll see what happens here. It looks like it is.
Oh yeah, there we go.
60, it looks
there
like,
we go.
From the 710, you see the night sunlight lighting them up as the sun sets. They definitely need that. You see the CHP unit behind, and
I'm gonna go to bed and wake up, and this thing is still gonna be going on.
Now.
And that will take him back towards Montebello and
Pursuit up top.
Let's see here. It's going to be back towards Montebello, certainly, and out towards the city.
This thing is a nano leaf.
Freeway. He'll definitely hit the 605. Will
Aurora,
be the next freeway,
I think it's
but
called.
That's not for a while.
The white little light panels.
Eastbound 60 from the 710.
You have to see that this.
Apparently, he is.
We have so many in Los Angeles.
He's just been going in circles, though.
People are watching this from the United Kingdom. They're watching in Australia. I know our counterparts at
Nanoleaf,
WNBC in New York.
How do you know
That's
all
the
that,
one.
Robert?
Because NBCLA.com has roughly 10,000 people watching. We've got people on Facebook that are commenting.
Got people on Twitch.
Our viewers are engaged. And again, a lot of them have just said, I've put in 3 hours watching this pursuit. I want to know what's going
with the
to happen
payoff.
next. And hopefully,
I know, for real. I want to see this end.
Peacefully and safely.
I've only
as
watched it
possible,
30
because,
minutes.
again,
I'm ready
right
to see it
now,
end.
We have a man that's not just evading police, but also has a woman that he is allegedly beating inside of that car that scanner traffic tells us at some point was unconscious. Gil, can you show us again
Shout out Twitch.
The streets where we are? Let's give people an idea of where we are in the city of Los Angeles. As we mentioned, we've got people now watching from around the world, and the speeds that this driver is heading.
Yes, the speed has really picked up here for sure. Eastbound 60 freeway, approaching
Oh
the
yeah,
Montebello area.
I'm sure the passenger is not there by choice. So yeah, I would say that would be a kidnapping.
Those other cars are going 65 miles an hour. He's starting to blow by him. We're hearing about 75 miles an hour on the speed. And I can also tell you that they have a canine unit in the mix as well. And I can hear that because I hear the dog barking in the background of the scanner traffic. So they're the police, the CHP, they're well equipped. They have the airship overhead. They have a canine unit in this pursuit if it goes to a foot chase when it comes to a conclusion. But eventually this driver's going to run out of gas going on 3 hours now in this pursuit. The freeway traffic is medium to almost heavy. So as he approaches the 605 freeway towards the Baldwin Park area, they will. He'll definitely have a lot more traffic to contend with, and you know how he drives in that traffic.
The canine. I'm the.
If he hits heavier traffic.
I'm the LSPD canine unit. Yeah.
And crossing Wilcox, eastbound 60.
You know, everybody has a job in these things. Robert's monitoring social media. You know what Gil is doing over the scene. Gil, I've been tracking you with the maps out here on the 60 freeway, and I have to tell you, you are doing a yeoman's job trying to give us the locations here, because even sitting at the desk here with the maps, it is hard to track this guy and where he's going and how fast he's going.
It really is.
And we should mention that Gil has picked up this pursuit.
Definitely does not have his headlights on. I think those are his daytime running lights, because his brake lights are completely out or not on.
Social media question mark as to what to compare this to. The Dodgers game, the Avengers Endgame, just how much longer is it going to go? And at some point,
the police Bugatti, yeah, for real.
You know, Gil, I have a question for you, and that is...
Don't
they
Dubai,
know
don't they
who's
have all the
behind the wheel
supercars, police
because
cars
of
there?
The alleged domestic violence.
That's what we need.
The witnesses here, they've been able to run the plate. We understood from
We need
Ileana
that
that they had someone
SLS
at the
AMG, we need
house.
the
They had
Corvette,
officers
we
at
need
house
the
that he, in fact, doubled back.
GTR.
Why would they not go into tracking mode given how dangerous this is and has been?
I think that the main concern is that female passenger. I think that's why they're not relinquishing it. They want to make sure that they keep a close watch on that passenger, that female, to make sure that she remains at least in the car.
I think it was Fremont Police Department. They got a Tesla.
If this driver was to try to push her out
Model
at
S.
some point, at least the police are close by and can tend to her quickly. So I believe that's the case. I think the main concern for those officers is that female victim inside this vehicle. They want to make sure that she's okay, and that's why they keep asking us to check on, give them updates on her condition if she's
a police Hellcat.
Gil, can you zoom any closer into the car and we can just try?
There'd be so many arguments about who would get to drive that.
And we certainly would help any way we can, but for a law enforcement agency like the CHP to ask us to give us a report from our chopper as to the condition of the woman inside, and we did see some.
No, it's still in development. I thought they had already fitted it out and everything. I saw a video where it looked like it was ready. They're going to put it into circulation.
According to the EPA, using city highway combined traffic. Gil, is it possible that the woman inside of the car is a victim of kidnapping, not just domestic violence?
Well, yeah, there are probably a lot of, but you would imagine, like, say you're driving and you see this coming past you, you're like, oh, 911, but then you see the police already behind them. What's the point of calling 911 again? The police already know about it.
And if he's pulling her back in,
but I'm sure they're still getting calls about it, I'm sure.
And clearly, she has tried to get out on a number of occasions here and has been pulled back inside. So you would have to think kidnapping is definitely part of this.
You definitely need to be trained.
What's his speed right now? He's
like,
on the 60
I don't know how police cars are insured, but I imagine it would not be cheap if you had a police Hellcat and you're using it in pursuits.
60 freeway eastbound, approaching the 605 quickly. The speeds are about 90 miles an hour now, using that shoulder, that center divider, to pass. And look at that, he's having to go hard on the brakes. He's going all the way, almost all the way across lanes. No, he changed his mind. He's going to go back into that shoulder, that center divider area. Now look at this, he's slowing down. So maybe this, well, it's hard to say, but
if we can get closer, Gil, there are reports that the two are fighting again inside of the car.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
at this
we're going to try to effort that and get onto the other side of the car to see if we can see that. That might be the reason why that they slowed down. I'm hearing, though, I was trying to catch the information that they were, the CHP were given. Here, let me see here. They were talking about weapons. They were talking about weapons. They're trying to confirm if this suspect has a weapon or not. What I thought I caught there was that they didn't think that the suspect has a weapon.
This is the advertisement for Honda Accord.
So
right here.
Dictate a lot of what
great in pursuits.
Doing a pit maneuver. If he has a gun in there, they likely won't do a pit maneuver. But they've been trying all along. So it's a little difficult to tell. Here we go. We're going to get a shot through the windshield. It's a little difficult, a little
can't even see in
right
there
now to see if we can see anything through that front window here. But it looks like.
Is their chopper still up with nights on? I mean, it looks pretty dark.
Yeah, Colleen,
I can't see anything in there.
I see what looks like maybe a light, maybe from her cell phone. It looks like her knees are bent. It looks like her feet are still on the dashboard. So it's likely that there you go. You see both knees. Her feet are on the dashboard, it looks like. And I thought I saw a light from a cell phone.
And we don't know anything about the driver or the passenger at this point in time. We don't know if they're married. We don't know if there's a relationship.
Looks like he's driving pretty fast now.
We just know that someone, including a police officer, witnessed some sort of domestic violence, and that's when this started, shortly after 5 o'clock. Now, he's still on the 60 freeway. How close are we to the 605? We should be coming up on that soon.
All right, I got to call my wife here soon.
They've already passed it, coming up on 7th Street, Hacienda Heights area, but look at those speeds now. Look, 95 miles an hour, the CHP's calling it. And you can see the headlight there, one headlight on, one headlight out. Yeah, so it could be the running lights on the vehicle because it looks like he has no lights on in the
Yeah.
rear.
And again, Gil,
I'd say at least that.
nothing you're hearing on
Also
the
pretty
scanner.
zoomed
We saw
in,
the
so it's
driver at
kind of
one
hard to
point was
tell,
on
but it
his
looks like
cell
he's
phone.
driving fairly quick.
Appeared to be talking on his cell phone. Was certainly holding it. Any idea from them if they are in communication directly with him?
It's possible that the CHP is trying to reach
Tell her
out
to go to the
in
website.
any way they can. You know, I'm sure they're coordinating with Southgate PD to get to know what they know about the suspect or the victim here. But you know, so far we haven't heard if they're in communication with that suspect.
Gil, as we continue on the 60 freeway, this will take you into Riverside County through the Diamond Bar area. Any air restrictions out there like we saw when we went through Anaheim?
No, we're going to be clear sailing from here on out with airspace and all that, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now, the one thing this driver could do is go southbound on the 57 freeway. That'll be the next freeway that this guy's going to encounter. He could go southbound 57, which will put it back into the Orange County area, which might...
Was that a Chevy Cruze he's getting out of the way?
He'll go into the Disney TFR once again.
So, Gil, give us a location as to where we are, exit we're coming up to.
City of Industry, Hacienda, eastbound 68, crossing Hacienda, about 70 miles an hour. Look at this. He's moved all the way over to the slow lane, so that might be an indicator that he might want to get off the freeway, or it just might be, let me come out wider, it might just be the fact that all those cars are ahead of him. Yeah, he's just kind of weaving in and out.
So at this point, it really is going to be a matter of if they don't try a pit maneuver or spike strip, if they ever get that opportunity
I'm going to send a
it's gonna be
Snapchat
matter,
to my wife.
Just running out of gas.
Mm-hmm. You would think
passenger side, if we can get to the passenger side. We're going to try to move to the passenger side and see if we can see. We understand the window might be down on the passenger side. We definitely can see, if I zoom back in,
Yeah, you can see something.
All right, this is what we're watching right now.
You definitely see her legs bent there. You see that?
All right.
The front of the windshield
Chat,
there.
say hello to my wife in the chat.
Her legs up on the dashboard or maybe sitting on the seat itself. I do see movement in her right hand, so she is moving around. Here we go. We're going to come around. There's the window. It is down. The night sunlight is from the police helicopter is lighting it up, and this guy is flying right now. He's really 90, 95 miles an hour, really pushing the pedal, and it's unbelievable that he's found this amount of speed with the amount of gas that he has. It's unbelievable that he's really pushing the limits here.
And Gil, you mentioned the K9 units are in tow. When he pulled into that
car, I see her.
At one point we saw the dogs get out, the K9 unit get out.
Yeah, she's traveling at the moment, so she's like, "Are you done streaming?"
Yeah, look at that, weaving right through that traffic.
I'm like, "There's a pursuit."
That when the CHP does handoffs,
I probably will have to call her here in a second. She's probably about to go to bed.
Area of CHP, and then those units will bring in their own K9.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did LSP for once. I think it was a live stream.
And a part of this, the ending of this termination of the pursuit when it does end.
I think people were too mean about her driving skills.
Keep in mind,
so she's like, I'm never doing that again.
Chopper for Bravo for such a long period of time that he is going to have to go and refuel.
Yeah, she has no interest in video games.
Don't move, because Ileana Moreno.
Yeah, it was. It was like it was a while ago. You're right.
And we'll be joining this pursuit right now.
Oh, look at this. Look. This is something we don't see.
Get him. Get him. Is that LAPD?
And
exiting, maybe.
Yeah, exiting there.
LAPD about to do the rolling roadblock.
That was actually Colleen. That was a sheriff's department vehicle that was not part of the pursuit, but the sheriff's officer there, a deputy, looked in his rearview mirror and saw a pursuit coming, and he decided
he just driving on the road.
But then of course, the driver got around. Here he goes. He might be exiting Nogales.
Los Angeles Sheriff's Department.
The freeway, Mike, behind us. So we'll see what he does.
And where will that put him if he exits Nogales? He'll be out of the city of Industry, won't he?
Well, he's certainly,
Rolling Heights.
Oh, look at that. Oh, right through the traffic there. He's southbound. It's going to be Rolling Heights. Exactly, Colleen. And he made that southbound Nogales from the freeway. Southbound, he turned.
She replayed the snap.
Our chopper now as he gets into some heavy traffic here.
What the heck?
And he's going to continue now. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be Colima.
Yes, it is Colima.
Okay.
And if he continues,
he's turning into a parking.
Give up.
I was
Stop.
gonna say, there's a high school right around
Do
there.
it.
Rowan High School.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
There's people in the
Very
parking
close
lot.
by, but look at this. He's going through this parking lot, and he's going to park.
Oh
This
my
is it.
God.
This is going to come to an end right now. We got people in the parking lot. He's getting out, and he's running.
And he's
there
running.
he goes.
Oh, there you
He's
go.
leaving
Who
the
said he was
female
gonna
behind.
run?
He's going to go into that store where you're
Somebody
gonna
said
try
he
to
was
get
gonna
in.
run.
Looks like maybe a 99-cent
Who
store.
wins the bet?
We'll try to get that for you, but that officer right there making entry into
The officers followed right
store.
in after him.
Right in after him, and we got
He's
the
done.
airship overhead. I'm going to keep a wide shot to see in case he comes out the back possibly, but I'm also going to keep an eye on that woman in that car to see if she gets out. It looks like she's staying in
Oh,
put.
look at the people
You can see
running
people
out of
coming out. Yeah, everybody's running out. They don't know what's
Oh
going on.
my God, the
And,
99-cent
here's
store.
The car. The woman's still in there. Look at her. She's got her knees up. She is moving around, but she's staying put. So right now, we're here.
Where's the rest of the police cars? Where's all the police at? What happened? Oh, there's one in the parking lot.
People running out of the parking, or actually running out of the store to their cars to get away. And in the meantime, the female passenger staying put. No, she's coming out now. Here she comes. We're going to stay on
She's
this
moving. That's
and watch
good.
what she does. We see some people there that hopefully they'll go and assist. We don't have any police yet on her. We don't have any California Highway Patrol. They're focusing on that suspect right now.
What
in
is
the
going
store.
on?
But for now,
These
she's making
people
her
don't
way
know
out
what's
slowly.
happening.
Maybe she's thinking about it. Maybe she's just not able.
And maybe she's been on the cell phone with the police as well, and she's been instructed, Gil, to stay inside of the vehicle. And as you go back and look inside of that 99-cent store, you can't hit this point hard enough again that we
Okay, there's
don't
some
know
police.
if
And
he is
that,
armed.
well, they did go
It
around
becomes a very
back.
dicey
That's
situation,
good.
not only for the people inside the store, but also the police officers here. You know, you've got to wonder what the situation
I know,
is.
he
with the,
did not
passenger here,
hesitate.
the woman. Is this just relief that she opens the door? It's finally over. We know she's been hit at least a couple of times, according to witnesses and according to
it's like he's videoing with his
Southgate
cell phone.
police officers. So she may be injured. You just don't know.
And we don't know if, again...
That's a huge 99-cent store. My
Her
goodness.
instructions. You see,
Officers
giving her
going in.
instructions.
Yeah.
and you
It kind
see
of
those
looked like
officers
it.
going
He had
in.
his cell phone
A
out.
sign, Gil, that perhaps
a little
this
hard
guy
to
is
tell.
in custody inside of the 99-cent store. If it was safe for those officers to go in without their guns drawn.
He is not in custody yet. They have him in the rear of the store, and the concern is that he will exit the rear. They're moving a K9 unit to the rear, so you see some units in the back there. You see the blue and red lights there. You see the airship, and then still we're trying to keep an eye on that female victim there. It looks like she's staying put. The door is open. Yeah.
It's interesting. Nobody has gone up to help her out. From what we could tell, there are a couple of people who stood around the car, but nobody seems to have approached the car.
And
No, they have not. They have not approached her.
we don't know, again, really what her involvement is here. I mean, we can't even at this point, you know, say...
Assume that she's a victim.
Assume that she may be an accomplice in another
I'm
crime
surprised
and may
nobody's
have been told
come
to
up to
stay,
the car
or,
either,
again, that
like
she
an
is
officer.
injured.
Guess they're focused on getting
here's
Is
the.
that her
interesting
right
thing
there,
now.
hunched over, Gil? I can't quite tell.
That is. They're looking with the night sun at her. So it looks like she's kind
I
of
don't
rolled
know.
over on her
China?
side, possibly.
I
I
don't
see her moving. It looks like she's on her right side, and you know, it's hard to say what she's doing, but I do see movement. She is moving. That is a good sign, but it looks like maybe she's just so exhausted she just can't move.
Back to the front of the store, is there just one K9 unit there, and that's in the back of the store?
They moved the K9 to the back of the store, but now I'm hearing
Coming
that
up.
they have the suspect in custody, so
Okay.
we should be seeing him coming out here shortly. You see the officers, the CHP officers coming
And
out.
they acting like
with
they
their,
got him.
heavily armed, and now we're hearing they're going to send some units over there. Here we go. These guys are going to move over
Finally.
there quickly and check her out. So we'll keep an eye on the front and see if we get a shot at that guy coming out.
I
But
feel
in the
like
meantime,
we'd get yelled
here
at
comes
an
the,
ARP
officers
if
to move over
we
to
just
the
left
vehicle. They're gonna
the
approach
victim possibly there,
cautiously,
unless
because
they know
still don't
something
what
we
they
don't.
have. They have their weapons, but they're not pointing the weapons. They're just going to go over there. Now some people coming in and pointing, giving direction to
He parked
almost
there.
looks like they didn't realize that that was the vehicle there. So
Yeah.
they did
Oh,
move
wow.
in. There they go. They're
Didn't even
moving in,
know.
checking the vehicle. They're going to move around and secure her.
Oh, he's got a
and
gun.
try to get her some medical attention very
she's
soon.
moving.
Clear the car. Oh, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I'm
she
going to
looks.
come back to the front, and
She looks like she's having a hard time moving there.
there he is, right at the back of that vehicle.
Is that the
Suspect in
suspect right
custody.
there?
Got him.
He's in custody.
There's your
is in
suspect.
custody.
CHP 1, criminal 0.
So they will put him in the back of that vehicle, and then we're going to come back to the female to see what's going on here.
She's still there.
They're leaving her in place right there for now.
Uh-oh.
And we'll likely hear and see the fire department rolling in here to get the paramedics to.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
not
was gonna
good.
say, will they call EMTs or something like that at this point?
For sure, yes.
But
I
you
see
see they're
one
standing
of those
down.
officers
Yeah.
putting on some gloves there. So
That's
for
not
now,
good.
The suspect in custody.
What
the
a piece
pursuit
of
ending at this
doo-doo.
99-cent store. The suspect just pulling into a parking lot or parking space and then running into the 99-cent store. Everybody coming out of the doors.
Yeah,
not
she
knowing what's
kind of
going
looks
on.
hurt.
CHP unit pulling in there behind and finally
Gil-
getting him in custody.
No calls for paramedics, and
Oh,
meaning there are no
Ethan, thank you for the
injuries
50
inside of the
bits.
99-cent
Check by
store that you know
Sunday.
of from when that
Okay.
man went barreling in.
Appreciate that, Ethan.
That's correct. We haven't heard that,
SCPD got
I'm
busted,
hearing they're
yeah.
asking for confirmation if she is conscious and breathing.
Uh-oh.
And I'm waiting to hear what they're going to say about her. But they're going to definitely roll the fire department. I'm sure they're on their way already. We're going to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, they would do that as precaution anyway. Just to give you an idea, if you've stayed
I
with
know.
us through
What a
this,
piece of crap, man.
3.5-hour pursuit. Let me give you an idea of
3.5
where this ended
hours.
here. This is on Nogales Street, or just off Nogales Street in Rowland Heights, which is just off the 60 freeway. And it started just after 5 o'clock this afternoon. We picked it up shortly after 5 when it started in the city of Southgate. Apparently, police were notified there was something going on inside that car that we've been looking at. That
Hope they
silver
got like a
Honda.
good punch
Witnesses
in.
said it was some sort of
You know,
domestic
sometimes
abuse.
you'll see
The
people
officer who was
arrested in
the
these
lead behind that
situations.
car
They
during
got
the
like a big
pursuit
old black
actually
eye right
said he
there.
witnessed the woman being struck several times. We zoomed in a couple of times and we could see there was some sort of struggle going
Crap,
on in the
yeah.
car between
Crap.
the driver and
Piece
the
of crap.
passenger. And there you see it's ended now 3.5 hours later.
And there is a lot of speculation right now online as to the woman's condition here. One of the things that NBC4 has done,
Let me know if
and
you see the fire department rolling in.
Gil and Colleen, you know, is that when these pursuits end, we continue to follow them and continue to follow up on them. So in the coming hours, NBC4 News, of course, tonight at 11 p.m., and in the coming days, we're going to have more on the
Interesting.
the suspect.
Well,
his
the
apparent
pursuit
motives,
ended.
and
I gotta go
the
call my wife. It's been 3 hours of
woman that was
streaming.
in the car with
Thanks,
him,
guys,
and
for
what her
watching the
involvement was
pursuit with me for the
of
last
course,
hour and a
her
half.
condition as we continue to focus on
What I will
I can guarantee you
do
we've
Yes,
dispatched
Jack,
the ground
yes.
crew out there. And
is,
some-
if you want to
probably
continue
arriving on
watching
scene
coverage
soon.
on your own, I'm
Producers are
gonna leave a
listening to
link
us.
there in the chat,
You can give us an idea of who that might be, but as Robert said, we do follow through that.
so you can check it out if you're interested in seeing the conclusion here. Let me see. Where's my chat? Right here. All right, guys, there it is. Appreciate it. We'll be live tomorrow, 4 p.m., doing some ARP. Hope you guys, if you can, come join us. And let's see. Ethan, thank you for the 100 bits, 27-month resub. Gomez, thank you for the 42.53 82 bits. And C-Tang, thank you for the 4-month resub. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow.